Alright guys, welcome aboard. Going to be doing a flight in the FlightFactor 757-200 from San Diego to Phoenix. Just a quick hop over there. I've been refreshing myself in the old 757 here, and I think I'm ready to actually record a flight and not screw too many things up. But having a little trouble with the approaches in this plane. It's a little quirky. I'm not used to it, so we'll see how it goes. I'm going to try to do the ILS into runway 8 over at Phoenix. So if this is your first time checking out my channel or videos, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification little bell button there. You'll get notified when I post a new video. And hit the like button here, even if you just watch the startup here and get familiar with getting the 757 going here. Appreciate that. Anyway, let's get going over here. So the first thing we got to do is grab our little iPad here and get our GPU ground power unit up and running here. I'm not going to screw around with a whole bunch of stuff here, so I'll try to make this kind of like a nice tutorial video as to how to get the 757 going. So we got GPU power is on. We're going to come up here. We're going to go to standby power to auto. Flip this up, turn our battery power on. There we go. Everything should start firing up here. We're going to go to external power. We're going to put that on. Turn our buses on, left and right. Utility buses on, left and right there. Or I guess that's, what is that? TIF. Not sure what that stands for, but anyway, got to get all that power on. Now we can come over here and get our get our IRSs aligned. So put all those three to nav, and let's see. We'll get our smoking sign on and our seatbelt sign on, so passengers can start seating themselves. We'll close our emergency lighting right there, and at this point, we're going to put on our navigation lights there. And we can get our APU started. So let's get some fuel flow here. Let's take a look at our fuel. Nope, not enough fuel there. So I'm gonna refuel it quick and dirty here through the sim. Right about there is good. All right, there we go. So bump up our fuel instead of you could go through the iPad and fuel it proper like, but we'll go ahead and we're gonna put all our fuel pumps on. Transfer pumps left and right, center tanks. Get everything on, and let's get the APU started. Throw that over to start. And while that's firing up, we'll just set stuff up here. So panel lights, I like to have all the way up. Flood off. Overhead, or not overhead. I'll ride that. Everything else just as it is there. Let's grab our FMC here. We'll jump inside and get set up here. Clear out all these messages. Go to our position right here. Click right there. Go KSAN. And actually I could clear that message out. KSAN. Diego is our reference airport. And we're just going to grab, let's see how different that is. Nah, we'll grab the GPS position and drop that in there. Alright, then we'll go over to route. Still got our KSAN there, and we're going to be going to KPHX. Drop that in there, activate that, execute that, and let's go over to performance here. We'll just drop everything in here. Reserves, what do we got for total fuel here? So total fuel is 29. It's going to take about 10-ish to get to Phoenix. So I'm going to put 17. For reserve cruise altitude, let's just we don't need to go too high. We can actually go to 290. We'll drop that in there. Cost index, whatever. I'm just going to put 5, and it always says that. I guess that depends on the I don't know. I've tried different numbers in the cost index here, and I always get that unable cruise altitude. But whatever, we're just going to leave that in there. All right, takeoff is going to be 5 flaps. Click that in there. Thrust to, let's derate here. So let's just, here's what I've been doing. I take a look at the outside temperature right here. It's 22. So if I go 22, drop that in there. CG, click the button, and there we go. We should get our trim value. Let's go ahead down here and set that. It's right about there. I'm just going to trim it up a little bit once we actually turn stuff on, and I can trim. Reference speeds, will enable those. and 132. When you click on that, it sets the speed right there, which is kind of nice. Alright, so back to arrivals and departures. We're taking off 27, and if I take a look at my other screen, that's an interesting one. I don't think I've done that one before, but that's what I've got there. Imperial transition, execute that, go over to index, go over to arrivals. Like I said, I'm going to do the ILS to runway 8. And let's see, Hyder or something like that. Hyder 1, there we go. Hyder 1, hogs transition. Don't see that anywhere in my flight plan, so I'm just going to execute that. Excuse my voice. I live in Southern California, and it's dusty as hell today. It's windy, and the dust is kicking up. And if you're looking at this anytime around the 13th of November 2018, you know, there had some fires north of LA. A lot of smoke in the air, and doesn't help my allergies. Anyway, enough of that mumbo jumbo. Alright, let's go over to legs. We're going to have a discontinuity here because I'm not putting in any routes. So Imperial to hogs, we're just going to go direct right there. Execute that. Let's see if we got any more discontinuities. Looking good all the way to the runway there. Altitudes look good. Alright, and let's just step through it. So we're going to come over here. Sorry for all the zooming. What do I want to do here? I'm going to zoom out. Zoom out a little bit. Why is that doing that? My goodness. Zoom out, go to plan view. Alright, back to page 1. Alright, here we are. So we're going to take off. Runway 27, and we're going to climb on out. We'll step through. Go to Jetty, Zoo, whatever that is. Grinder, Blues, Imperial, Hogs, Judith, over to Hyder, and on and inbound to our runway in Phoenix. Right there. And then we've got a holding pattern off here, just in case we need to hold, which we won't. Alright, that looks good. Let's go back to map view. Just go back to legs there, page 1. I think we're all done. That's it. Done in the FMC. So let's get everything set up here. So we've got our APU is running now, so we're going to enable that power, and we're going to click yaw dampeners, get all our electrical, hydraulics, engine stuff going, engine generators right there. We're going to turn everything else on. What did I say? 29,000. Did I ever enter an altitude in here? Hold on a second. Yeah, flight level 290. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. I couldn't remember. Alright, let's get back up here. So we're skimming down here. All our fuel is on. Come over to here, we'll get our window heat on. I don't have to touch anything there. Seatbelt sign is on, smoking sign is on. We're just going to set our arrival altitude into Phoenix. I think it's, I forgot what the altitude is, but it's right around there. Good enough. Alright, put that on. Here, let me show you what this looks like. So this is the auto rate pressurization here. And that's kind of, that little tick mark there is sort of the, I guess, where you want it, right? And then we'll go over to auto 1. You can use auto 1 or 2. I think Phoenix is like 13 something. We'll say 1340. Close enough. Cooling fan on. We're going to turn all of these up to the top. This is all the temperature control throughout the cabin. Alright, that looks good. Get our trim air on, electrical recirculating fans on. We're going to put the packs on auto, isolation, and turn on our APU bleeds. We'll turn on our engine bleeds also. And you can probably hear some air coming on now. Cabin and chart and dome lights we're going to leave off for now. Alright, that's it. Let's get back down here. So that's it. Everything is set for the panel up top. Let's call for a pushback. So Let's see, I think we're gonna want to go like this. Right there. Should be a decent pushback.
Ground to cockpit, plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you are ready. Ground to cockpit, tow is driving up.
Alright, while he's driving up, I'm going to go ahead and set our cruise altitude here. We said 29,000. There we go, 29,000. We're going to hit our flight director. Left, right, armor, auto throttle. And that's about it for right here. We can hit LNAV, VNAV. Make sure they engage. And we'll hit the parking brake. That will get our boarding gate moved out of the way. Get ready for engine start here.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Alright, and while he's connecting and jacking us up, one thing I always forget to do is get rid of the GPU. Get rid of that. And usually what that does is resets my buses here for some reason.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Yeah, I'm not sure why switching the power just resets these bus tie-ins or whatever they are. But anyway, we disconnected that. Alright, let's get our brake off. We'll let her push us back.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Yeah, thank you. Alright, starting engines, so we're just going to turn our packs over to off. Yeah, we'll fire up number 2, throw it over to ground. Wait for our N2 to spool up to about 20-ish is what I've been using. Bring the fuel up. And while we're down here, turn our transponder on. Let's get rid of that. Go. You can see these instruments flickering as the engine power comes online. Alright. Give her a minute to get us out here before we start up number 1. Might be a little loud, but there's a tower view. Here we are getting pushed back. I know there's a way of getting rid of the excessive exhaust here. That's not the smoke, so see if you turn on the smoke system, that's the smoke system. So that's just the generic exhaust for the FlightFactor plane. I think there's a way of turning that off, but I don't recall. I'll have to look that up.
Operation complete. Go ahead and set the parking brake.
Alright, the parking brake is set. Let's jump back in the cockpit here. We'll get
disconnecting tow. Stand by.
We'll get number 1 over to ground to get fired up. And if you see some screen tearing as I move around, it's because I'm not using VSync this time. I do fly on a 57-inch TV. And normally I use VSync, so you don't get that tearing when I'm kind of moving around. But it does take a chunk out of my frame rate, so I'm going to try flying it without it. Don't really need it because you're not really moving around too much in the cockpit to cause that that tearing. All right, and actually I should have put on our beacon here. Oops. Alright, looks like power has switched over.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have fun up there.
Alright, all the lights are out. Let's take a good look up here. Alright, everything's out there. Everything looks good here. Everything looks good there. Looks good there. Just got to put our packs back on to auto. Turn our APU bleed off and APU to off. And we are all set. We'll turn the nose gear on as a taxi light. And we're ready to get out of here. So let's get over to the end of the runway. Sometimes this thing needs a little bit of power to keep going. Very touchy on the power. This 757 is definitely powered up, so you gotta be careful. You can easily bring the engines up way too fast. Alright, while we're taxiing out, let me go ahead and get the let's get the ATIS frequency here. I'm looking at my other screen, not watching where I'm driving here. Goodness, why is that so small? Alright, ATIS is 134.8, so let's come down here. I think I already got it on there.
San Diego INTL Information Quebec. 2200 Zulu weather. Wind 250 at 12, visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 25,000 broken, temperature 22, dew point -2. Altimeter 3024. Arriving runway 27, departing runway 27. Advise on initial contact, you have Quebec.
Alright, 3024, let's set that on our altimeters there. Alright, as I taxi all over the place, get that ATIS off. Alright, looking good. We can do a control check here. Alright, not going to do the rudder check because that's right there. I guess I just did it. Alright, good to go. That can go off. Bring the power up just a little bit more here. Get ourselves over to the end of the runway. It's a nice beautiful day here in San Diego. Just a little bit windy though. It's definitely gusting quite a bit over my house. I do have X-Life airplanes coming and going here, so I have that enabled. The only other thing I'm going to do here is just turn up my panel lights. turn our radios on automatic. You saw my other video I did. Had a quirky little, I guess a failure you can call it. I didn't realize it, but if you click this enough times, let's see if I can get it to happen. There it goes. You just keep clicking it and the button will pop out. And you can kind of stick it back in by clicking it a few times here. Well, maybe this time we won't. Oh well. Come on, get back in there. No, that's okay. We'll leave it as is. Play around with it in the air, see if we can get it back in. Maybe I permanently broke it. Alright, let's get our strobes on, wing lights on, and we'll get our landing lights on here. Alright, we are ready for departure, other than our little button here. I think I permanently broke it. Oh well. We'll watch that flop around. Alright, no airplanes coming in. Looks like we are cleared for our departure here.
Approaching 27. On runway 27, flaps, flaps.
Yep, flaps. Go to 5 flaps. And just double check our trim. I'm going to trim it nose down a little bit. Alright, let's hold right here, let our flaps come down. Alright, flaps are set, and auto braking to RTO. Landing lights are on. And transponder is on and active. The thing I'm going to do here is just zoom out ever so slightly and get our airports on. Alright, here we go. So, brakes off, bring the power up, and hit the toga button there. And let's start our clock. Alright, rotating. Positive brake, gear up. This plane loves to climb and speed up really fast. I'm going to go ahead and flaps 1 now. We'll hit our autopilot button here. That'll throttle us back for some reason, and then throttle us back up. What? Disconnected those. There we go. I think when I disconnected the ground power, those came off. I didn't realize those were off again. Alright, let's go flaps all the way up. Start getting cleaned up here. Turn the nose gear off. Wing lights off. And I'll turn the sound down just a little bit here.
Traffic.
At beautiful San Diego through this hazy window here, Mission Bay Park there. Alright, pretty much on autopilot now. Let's see if we can't maybe fix this little button that I broke on purpose. I was able to fix it last time. Kind of clicked on it in here and there we go. See, stuck it back in. Alright. Put it on auto and leave it in there. Alright, so if you're going to zoom ahead to the landing in the video, you might want to hold off just a little bit because you get a real nice view of San Diego here as we come around. Even though it's hazy like this today. So this is Point Loma right here. This is the entrance to San Diego Bay, which comes all the way down around here. Here's the airport we just took off from. This is North Island Naval Air Station. Let's take a look out the front here. And Coronado, right through here. If you ever visit San Diego, make sure you come across the Coronado Bay Bridge here, which you can't really see in the haze, but you come back around through here and you can hang out, go to the beach. Lots of little shops and restaurants and things to do right here while you're chilling out in San Diego. Get my view back to the center here. Yeah, it definitely is hazy here today. Let's see if I can do something about that. That looks worse. It's a little better. Better with it on. Let's do off. And there we go. We go off. That is my Ultra Weather XP plugin. So we're making our turn here. Coming over the South Bay here. And there's Tijuana. Let's look around out the window here. So downtown San Diego just going out of our view right there, and it's still pretty damn hazy here. Sun's starting to go down. Alright, now you can skip ahead. Go to the approach and landing if you'd like. Alright, skipping the sound there. Alright, I'm going to leave it on autopilot here and get our landing lights off. Alright, off to Phoenix we go. Just waiting to come up to 18,000. We'll reset our altimeters, and then it'll be a quick hop to through the desert and into Arizona. One little weird thing I noticed, and I've been playing around with it. So here's our time. There's some clouds building in. So we got clouds in the maybe the clouds just updated, but yeah, we should have kind of had clouds over my house. It's they're just kind of like a broken layer, kind of like that looking. Anyway, time. I was going to take a look at the time here, because sometimes this FMC, for some reason, the times were just all whacked out. Yeah, see, again, they're kind of weird again. I've got the sim running on real world time. Turn that down a little bit more. So this is our time, right? 23:29, right? And you can see that it's got our... let's see, it's updating right now as we speak. 23:30 over to this intersection. 35, 5 more minutes. And then you get another half an hour or something. That's like our arrival time in Phoenix, which is only like 36 minutes, 37 minutes from now, right? Which is wrong, right? I'm not sure why it does that. And even top of climb here, we've got 32 minutes. I mean, that looks good, but this never seems like it is good. It's not a 36-minute flight. Don't know why it does that. So, unfortunately, the times on here are kind of unreliable. By the way, like I said, if you're still sticking around for the rest of the video here, it is very windy in Southern California. Lots of smoke and whatnot, and we've got turbulence, so we're probably going to be a bumpy flight all the way to Phoenix. It'll be interesting to see what the winds are over there. The other day I was doing a test flight. I flew into Albuquerque, and as I was, coming into starting my descent into Albuquerque, I got the ATIS, and it was like the winds were like, they were like 100 at 39 knots. I was like, really? I wish the weather would just not update so drastically, or I wish it would blend a little bit better. But at least you got a nice view out the window here. It should clear up as we get over to the desert here. Let's do a flyby really quick. I'm going to turn the volume down. Alright, let's reset our altimeters here. 2992. Bring that over to the co-pilot side, reset our backup here. Alright, we're good to go. We're off on our cruise. Zoom on out of here. Almost the top of climb. So, right about this time, I take my obligatory break. So I'm just gonna, let's see, we'll cruise on the nose here, and I will be back in a few minutes. Enjoy the view here. If, hopefully the clouds break up a little bit more. Guys, back in the cockpit here. Looks like we're just coming up to the Imperial Valley. This right here is Naval Air Station El Centro, and this is Imperial. This is the Imperial Airport right there. This is the U.S.-Mexican border, and we got Yuma off in the distance just over there. Looking around over at the Salton Sea. Got Coachella Valley and Palm Springs off over that way. Let's take a look at Imperial over here. Flown in here in real life quite a few times. There was a guy that had a hangar here when I used to fly in here in my Cessna 152. There was a guy that had a World War II fighter. The one with the gull wings, I can't remember its name. I always forget what the heck it's called, but he had a restored one right there. Always, every time I flew in there, I'd stop into the hangar to take a look at it. Nice view off the nose here. Let's jump back inside. See how things are going. Warning messages, that's good. Turn that volume down just a little bit. Let's take a look and see what we got here. So this bumped up by 1 minute. We'll see how accurate this is. I don't know, maybe it is working better now. So that means we're going to be into Phoenix at what we got now? It's 23:39. What is that? 20, I don't know, 25, 20, 40, it's 20, 28 minutes from now. Over to our legs page here. Let's start taking a look at our descent. And let's see what we're going to go down to. We're going to go down to 3,000. Let me get rid of that, and I'm going to go over to my other screen. And I'll bring that online for you so you can see what I'm looking at here. There we go. Alright, so there's our chart. We are right about in this location, right over Imperial Valley. Oh, here we go, Imperial. Headed for Yuma, and then we jog on up this way. Pretty much, although I think I cut across from Imperial to Hogs, so we're actually going to cut through the restricted airspace here. Don't mind that. Let's take. Oh, actually, you know what? Let's see what's the weather in Phoenix. Winds 120 at 7. Cool, they've died down there. Few at 5,000, few at 25,000, few at 29,000. 3033. So, looks like we're going to have a nice headwind. It'll be perfect for runway 8. Let's take a look at runway 8. And we're doing the ILS to runway 8, not the RNAV. The RNAV has been kind of weird for me. I haven't quite figured out how to do the RNAV approaches in this 757. It doesn't seem, you know, I never know if you're supposed to click on the approach button. I don't know. And just me being stupid, I guess. Alright, so there's our approach. We're going to start out at 3,000 is what I set for our descent. That's right, we're going to capture the glide slope down to the runway at what's up. And we can go ahead and set our frequency here. Localizer 11175, so let me bring that over here. I'll let you see where that's at. That's right here. And we're going to go 11175. And the final approach course is 078. So we'll just swing that over. 078. All right, that is set. And I think I might already have my ATIS in there. What do we got here? 127,575, right? Take a look at that and get rid of that. 127,575. There it is. So we're all good. We'll go ahead, and it's already flipped over. So we'll pick that up. Let's take a closer look here at our approach. Zoom in a little bit. Top of the descent is coming up about 50 miles or so. 52 miles right there. And we'll start down to 3,000 feet. So I'm going to go ahead and set that right now as our weather updates again. Nice view out the window, sun setting. You can see the shadows on the clouds, painting the desert there. And there's Yuma. There's the Yuma airport. The Colorado River right through here designates the border between California and Arizona. Nice view. What I was going to do is take a look at my Ultra Weather XP plugin here. Play around with it a little bit. Why not? We can change the cloud coloring. You can go all bright, and it gets a little bit too bright. A little bit lower, you can go all dark, which isn't very nice, but I don't know, someplace right around there looks good. Right around 90. Light power. We'll leave our mist and everything as is. Look at the Colorado River there, looking up towards Blythe. Center up the view here. Let's jump back inside. Alright, so top of the descent is coming up. We're all set right here. So, never turned off our strobes, but we'll go ahead and just leave them on for now. And you can see we're nowhere near using all of our fuel here. Actually surprised that we're not getting a little bit more turbulence. It was quite the bumpy ride when I was doing this flight a little bit earlier. I was doing Phoenix to LA and had quite a bit of turbulence. I'm going to take a look to see what we got right now. Yeah, we're kind of out of it. Bring this up again. So green area here. We might run into it. We're kind of right at the border right here. So let's see what this is. Basically, moderate turbulence below 10,000. Alright, so we might hit it coming down. See our clouds updating there. So I'm gonna turn on my frame rates here just for the heck of it. Just out of curiosity here, I want to see what I'm getting while I'm recording. Yeah, 20. That's kind of the bare minimum that you kind of want to have. The more clouds there are, the lower the frame rate. Let's hit 28, 29 there. There's a little bit of that turbulence now. Right on cue, just past Yuma here, although that said below 12,000, or below 10,000. Anyway, when I record, I get a bit of a lower frame rate here, and that's why I kept my VSync off. Matter of fact, if I put VSync on, I can show you the difference here. So I put VSync on, and kind of dropped by like 3 or 4 frames. Not too bad. I'm going to go ahead and keep it off though. And we'll get rid of our frame rate too. Alright, almost at our top of descent. Here's our turn. Start heading for Judith. Coming over Hogs. Got a little bit of wackiness there with the ortho right at this point. A little mismatch there. And we should start our descent here any moment. So I'm going to take this opportunity to take one more quick break, and I'll be right back.
Traffic.
guys. Just saw the weather update there. And we definitely got a little bit of turbulence this time around.
Unable to find view ID 13.
There we go. That's the view I wanted. Pretty hazy. Alright, let's keep on going here. Got our altitude set. Strobes are on. Okay, so it added 2 more minutes to our flight time so far from when we first started looking at it. So we'll see if this is working a little bit better now. Still, I don't know. This says we're going to be on the ground in Phoenix in, what? Or like 12 minutes? Right? I don't think so. I think that's a little off there. Alright, so we got our frequency set for the ILS. We got our ATIS set, so we should pick that up here at some point. Let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit. Traffic. Alright, let's see. Descent. What are we going to do in here? Here we go. Flap speed. Here's what we want. We want 30 degrees flaps, so I'm going to go ahead and copy that. Flap speed at Phoenix. Runway 8. There's our ILS frequency. We've got our course set. We're going to do flap speed. I don't know why it always comes. It comes in 1 lower than what I just copied, which is kind of weird. But all right, we got that set. And at least some of that haze is clearing up. So Phoenix is just beyond the mountain right here. There's a Phoenix Valley behind this.
Altimeter setting.
We'll reset that once we get it. Just looking at real world, what did it say? 3033. So we'll set that for right now. Should be pretty close. Actually, I think I might have been wrong. I think Phoenix is actually over here, behind this ridge. Just looking at our turn, yeah. So Phoenix is behind this ridge. Should start making our turn to the right here.
Phoenix Sky Harbor INTL information Sierra 000 Zulu weather. Wind 040 at 16, visibility more than 10. Sky clear, temperature 21, dew point 0. Altimeter 3035. Arriving runway 08, departing runway 08. Advise on initial contact you have Sierra.
Alright, there we go. We got our altimeter setting. And runway 8 is still good. I think it said winds were 040. We'll see if we get any of that that turbulence below 10,000. I'm going to double check that on my other screen. Make sure that's what it said. Yeah, moderate turbulence below 10,000. Level wind shear potential. That's way the heck out. Actually, the low-level wind shear is Montana and Wyoming. I'm not sure why that's in this
Traffic.
In that turbulence report or forecast. Alright, start making our turns here. Start coming up to final. We're going to start hopefully getting ready to slow down here. I think it should take us to 240. I'm going to 230 here.
Traffic. Traffic.
I think there's our speed reduction to 230. Bring a little bit of flap or spoilers up and get ourselves slowed down. Continue the descent. And what's our next speed here? 110. 110 all the way down to what's up. Alright, well, according to this, we should be in Phoenix. Let's see, it's adding a couple more minutes here. We'll see how far off it was. Now it's saying 9 minutes. We're at 4 minutes after 0Z. So this is Luke Air Force Base right here, I believe. You can see Phoenix off in a distance right there already with my bright lights turned up. You can control the intensity of the lighting with the weather plug-in here.
Traffic.
That's right here. So see if I turn it all the way down. But it also controls the street lights, although the street lights aren't on right now because it's not, not dark enough. But I found right around 30 looks nice in the evening. There's that haze. I was waiting for the haze to pop in. I could tell because of the horizon. It's looking kind of cruddy. Kind of funky there. Alright, there's our next speed reduction. Bring the spoilers up to get us slowed down to about 110. Alright, so I'm going to go flaps 1 at this time. Alright, we're set for 3,000 and then we're going to hopefully catch the ILS here. We'll see how this works out. Alright. Flaps 5. And we'll go ahead and get our landing lights on. So runway 8 is this one right here. There's this little jog right here at Jamal. And what's up is where we're going to be picking up the localizer at 3,000. Or sorry, the glide slope at 3,000. Let's see, did we go by Luke? Yeah, there we go. That's Luke Air Force Base right there. I don't recall what the name of this little airport is. Now we're going to hold 110 all the way to what's up. Or correction, 210, sorry, on the airspeed. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and turn up the volume here from this point so you can hear all the engine sounds. And unfortunately that annoying traffic guy here. Freeze on me there, Sim. Actually, what was our reference speed here? 114, 115, okay, keep an eye on that. There's our turn over to get lined up with runway 8. Alright, let's set auto braking to 1. Looks like our localizer's coming in here. Okay, here's what I'm going to do now. So now, to get straightened out here, I'm going to let the autopilot fly it right here. Alright, our airspeed is starting to come down to 170. I'm going to go to 15 flaps, bring the gear down. And I'm going to go ahead and hit the approach button. See how this thing does. Alright, flaps 20, 25. Okay, here we go. And we're going to bring our airspeed down to 130. And, come on, flaps 30. What's the cutoff there? 120. What was flaps 30? Was 162. I was well below 162, I think, or maybe right at it when I dropped them to 30. All right, landing gear down, 3 green. Let's get the remaining landing lights on. Holding at 130. And we got the glide slope and localizer. And the wind shift. For that low level wind shear here. Get ourselves slowed down to 112. No, 114 was the, well, 115 really was the reference speed. So I'm going to add 5 knots for this wind shear. We'll go for 120. Alright, landing checklist is complete. We got our gear, we got our flaps, we got our lights. I'm having trouble arming my spoilers, so I'm just going to actuate them manually here.
Traffic. Traffic.
Good so far. Nice evening approach, or late afternoon approach into Phoenix. Let's see how it does on this
Traffic.
On this glide slope here. Looking good. 2 white, 2 red on the happy lights. I always call them Vassy lights because there were more Vassies around when I learned to fly. But they're happy lights. Alright, airspeed is checked. Hold it at 120.
1,000.
Let's do a quick one here. Might be loud. Sorry about that. I should have warned you beforehand.
08.
Alright, I'm going to go ahead and take the throttle myself. And we'll disengage the autopilot. My airplane here.
500.
Pretty much a headwind.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Spoilers up. Lower that nose. Got a little thrust reversers engaged. Alright, there's 80 knots. Thrust reversers off. Go to manual braking. Spoilers down, flaps up. Get off the runway here and head over to the Delta terminal, since that's what we're flying. I see some Delta planes here. Alright, let's get all our lights off here. We got a spot up here. We'll do a little replay here. Go ahead and get our APU started up. Kinda got a short taxi here. Alright, let's go parking brake on, and let's see if our APU's fired up. Yes, it is. So let's go ahead and shut down 1 and 2. Got the gate coming in, and looking good here. Let's get the seatbelt signs off. Alright, we'll leave everything as is from there, as auto gate brings our gate into the plane here. Let's just pop outside, take a quick look. There we are. Welcome to Phoenix, everybody. Let's go ahead and do a replay. Pop in the cockpit here. That was a pretty straightforward approach. I think we'll do it from here. Maybe right there. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that flight in the 757-200 here. Again, I've been brushing up on my 757 flying here. So again, hit the thumbs up if you like that. And go ahead and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I do lots of X-plane videos, airliners, and general aviation. Feel free to browse through my YouTube channel there. I've got plenty of good stuff for all the flights that I've done. Until next time, guys, take care.
I have